but Towers of Doom is their go-to. Instead, it's going to be Sky Temple, which actually, TheOne have a higher win rate, but that's only over 2 games.
Yeah, the small sample size definitely making all the difference here. However, as you said, yeah, there is a couple of Battlegrounds that are sort of CE specialities. You said Brexis Hollow earlier. I also consider Towers of Doom to be their absolute home turf. However, you know, 10-2 is by no means a bad record at all. So what are they going to bring to the table? We're going to find out in a bit. Now, CE, they have been known to play really solid Tassadar double support, with Alufil going for the main support, whereas KTY is probably the best Tassadar next to Melody C from SPT. So they can just play everything, basically. They have super good flex players like KTY in their roster. Even Zuyu, like we've seen him on the heroes like Turiel in the beginning of the phase, did not pan out so well for them. So yeah.
Speaking of things that have not panned out so well, we've seen him on Sylvanas and Zagara this phase, neither of which have won. Which is unfortunate, because I hate to see players punished for trying something new.
True. We saw a very successful Sylvanas approach last phase, where they basically set a new HGC record against Wukong Gaming in, I think, 6 minutes something.
And twice.
Yeah, twice. And then, of course,
to break their own record in the second rotation.
It's like a Heroes of the Storm speedrun, you know?
Yeah.
So, I also will never forget, of course, their Stitches Sylvanas combo with Mind Control Putrid Bowel. Oh, God, was that beautiful. But immediate lock-in here by Vala, or with Vala and Uther. Are we going to see a Lunara Tetra?
I mean, they should.
Yeah.
It's a good hero. There's no reason why it shouldn't be their assassin. It's just whether they prefer to prioritize potentially like a Dahaka for the global potential, or an ETC maybe for that solid tank, or maybe they want to lock in that Rhaegar before it gets banned, for example.
Right.
There's a couple of reasons why they wouldn't auto-lock in Lunara. It's very much a situation of, is there something they prioritize higher, in which case Lunara will get banned, but there are other heroes like Raymain that they can pick up instead.
Yeah, there's a lot of heroes available, but here is what I want to see. I want to see something new, something fresh. I want to see the Jaina. Ever since the rework, have we seen her in Open Division?
No.
Huh. So there seems to be a little bit of reluctance and, you know, hesitating when it comes to trusting Jaina in their new form. Although in the community, actually, she's been very well received, hasn't she?
I believe so. I haven't had a chance to look, really. But I haven't seen anything super negative.
Oh no, there was a Reddit post actually saying that you know, the developers did a really good job redesigning her.
Fair enough. So there goes Lunara, Ripperoni, very nice. And like we said, it was priorities. They wanted to get Hugo onto that ills. One win, 0 losses. I believe that is still map based, because I'm pretty sure he's played Illidan more than once. Yes. So there we go. And we do see the Rhaegar to come in.
It was the legendary Hugo play as well that we saw in the highlight. It was in Sky Temple.
Yes, it was.
Yep.
Yes, it was. So, what are TheOne going to ban out? Do they want to ban out something to potentially lower the chances of a secondary support? What would they be afraid of?
Arthas?
CE global potentials? Arthas is definitely still scary. So Arthas for tanking, Dahaka for globaling. That was a word when I thought of it in my head.
The Mercenarier and the Globaling. There we go. Can you believe that there will be a hero at some point who's a good Globaling Mercenarier? I mean, there's already one, like Dahaka could do that, right?
Yeah, we have a very good Globaling Mercenarier. But more the Mercenaria. Would be more than happy for others.
Oh my god, that pun was next level, actually. And I'm pretty sure half of Twitch chat didn't even get it. So,
no, they got it. They haven't caught up yet. But yeah, we also have, to be fair, we do actually have another global Mercenaria.
Teacher.
And Karazim. That's
getting the nerd chills, because it's going to be a Luful on this Karazim, the one and only. At least I hope so. I think last one was KTY, wasn't it?
Maybe. Yeah, I think it was.
No, damn it. I want to see a Luful on that. And the reason why I'm getting so excited about Luful's Karazim is because he taught me the ways of inside Karazim. And ever since then, you can ask all my teammates in Team League recently, I've been spamming the crap out of this build. And in certain scenarios, especially when you need a strong lane sustainer, like on Brax's holdout, for example, it works wonders because Karazim never goes out of mana, and he's always going to have those strong AoE healings.
This is true. This is very true indeed. But it is unfortunately likely going to be KTY playing it, which is sad for us because we do love to see a lethal on the hero. Now that we don't have Merry Day anymore, it's left a bit of a hole in our heart for Eastern Star Karazims. It's Star Karazim gods, at least. So we see the ranged assassin finally coming in for the one in the form of the Greymane and a nice solid solo tank in the form of ETC. Lots of disruption, lots of lockdown set up. If they want to go for Executioner or Greymane, they can set up for that. If not, a good mosh into Cocktails is going to work spectacularly.
Yeah, now we still need a Paradise hero, I feel. I think Wind is going to be our main Tyrael player. Paradise, you could go for the likes of Sonya, and Sonya against Illidan is still pretty damn solid. I mean, most of her most of her damage comes from abilities. She's got a little bit of interruption. She brings a little bit of CC to the table, especially if you decide to go Leap. It could be a nice ETC mosh pit counter. So many arguments currently favoring the Sonya, but also Malthael, you know? Divine Shield, Sanctification, seems pretty good.
It does, as does pretty much any other melee. Like I said, the Sonya still synergizes with it. Like you said earlier, it's gonna be Dahaka though.
It's good too.
It's just safe. It's just safe. It's got a decent amount of AoE damage. There's nothing spectacular about this composition from CE, but it's a composition that, if they just play it well, will work. It's simple, and therefore it should be better.
And the thing is, like, we criticized CE for their wonky drafts, similar to RPG, right, throughout the season. Oftentimes, they came into a match, you know, it just looked like they were all mashing random buttons and then tried to make that team comp work. However, this time, they have a very, you know, safe route, as you said. And I think against an opponent like TheOne, it's definitely the right approach, because you cannot, under any circumstances, risk losing the first game. It might break your momentum. It is definitely going to shut down your hopes for 3 points. And, you know, as you said, TheOne is currently chasing CE. They're not that far away in terms of overall standings, so even dropping 1 or 2 points could make all the difference in the end when it comes to qualifying for BlizzCon.
Exactly. Every point matters. Let's see if TheOne are able to take it. TheOne's comp is super. I think someone in the chat said it earlier. Hang on. Yeah, there we go. Puphead. Or Puffied. I don't know how you would pronounce that. I assume Puphead.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The comp looks the one comp looks very Hero League-esque. It's got a lot of protection for the Illidan. It's got a single tank. It's got a lot of empowerment, a lot of CC. It's got all the go-tos. These are how we win the game things. Whereas the CE comp is what they like, powerful meta picks. Let's see which one is better as we head into game number 1 of TheOne versus Challenge. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Sky Temple. As we head into game number 1, TheOne on the left with Hugo on Illidan, Lucky on ETC, Meng on Tassadar, Zyran on Rhaegar, and Hehe playing the Greymane.
And their
They're
opponents...
using CE sprays.
Yeah, I was gonna say, traitors! Get those CE sprays out of here! Because they are facing none other than CE with a Lufal on that Uther, Wind on Tyrael, KTY indeed on that Karazim sad face, Paradise on Dahaka, and Zuyu plays the Vala. Who else?
As Dahaka tunnels to mid, not catching the Watchtower because he wants to try and bait someone. TheOne ain't having any of it because they're heading to bot lane for towers.
Yep.
As Meng will slow down the rotation, though, to give time. They changed their mind on the towers because they see that CE did rotate down this far so quickly. Instead, they back up. We do see an Immolation Illidan. We see that so rarely these days.
Yeah, we really do, and I think it makes a lot of sense on Sky Temple, you know. Clearing mercenary camps, especially that bruiser camp at the top half of the map, is very, very important. Siege Giants, of course, can be cleared much more quickly with it as well. So, you know, it's not a bad talent by any means. Also gives you more teamfight presence later on, if you really dive deep into the enemy team's backline. So I like it. And we also see Tetra, for the first time, an arrow build. So far, all the Valas that were locked in today did go for the W build exclusively. So let's see what kind of an effect Zuyu is going to have. I'm just happy we don't see an auto attack build. I'm just going to tell you this much.
That is fair. Now, Q Valor is definitely better single target damage, so that is the idea behind this. It's single target damage and sustain. It's ability power that can burn through the evasion. So this is very much an anti-Illidan style here, without using having to rely on getting to 16 and getting frost shots.
Ooh, a lot of tower damage, though, on Hugo. He's going to get chased by Turiel and Uther, but survives barely.
Was your Eldrun's might really that far away, Turiel? You might have been able to get the kill. But either way, he decided to play it safe and not dive in and go for the potential 1-for-1 sacrifice. As the temples do spawn, CE currently holding both.
Yeah, very strong showing here by CE. Of course, they're going to get pushed back in the middle now, since there's 4 enemy heroes from TheOne. But still, you know, they snuck away a couple of shots, and they're actually getting reinforcements themselves right now. Lufel joining the fray. It's a 5 versus 4, though, now. No slide soaking at all coming in from TheOne.
They're losing a couple shots here and there because they keep stepping off. Looks like they are going to give this up, but they've bought some... The idea here was to try and buy themselves some time and have Dahaka tunnel in.
Oh, absolutely.
And there's still enough shots that they can attempt to do so. Dahaka is just about finishing here. No, he doesn't get the last 5 shots. He's actually going to pull back because he wants to grab a fountain by the looks of it. No, he's just pulling back for the sake of it. In the meantime, though, because he's left... The one don't know where he is, so they've moved back off the middle temple and are going to let CE take the rest of the shots because they want to risk getting ganked. Now they can see Dahaka's there, you can see they want to move back in, but
it's too late.
Kind of too late. Most of the shots are already gone. They might save it. Nope, too late.
That was an exceptional hold here by CE. Looks like there is a pause happening right now, but dude, CE have played this so well. Like, Dahaka retreating, not taking any risks here of falling to the Illidan. Securing themselves, like, I would say 70% of the top temple, then at least 60 to 70% in the middle temple, and that explains why they're already ahead half a level.
Indeed, they're CE looking good. They're controlling the map a lot better than TheOne are here. They grabbed far more shots total. Yeah, they gave up the final 5 shots in top lane, but overall this works out a lot more in their favor. They grabbed far more shots in top lane, meaning they set up for the bruiser, and stole at least a couple in the mid lane without losing any members. Didn't lose any extra lanes due to the fact that no one was soaking bot lane. It was good. Well done.
And what I've really liked about CE's draft so far, or the team composition they field, they're extremely hard to catch. Almost all of their heroes are extremely slippery. Like Turiel, he always has the Eldrun's Might to really get out of harm's way when ETC chose to go in with a power slide. Same goes for the Kharazim, the Radiant dashes. It's just really cool to see how they're always there, but very hard to get caught. Vala, of course, has this, the Vault as well. So hopefully there's not going to be too much or too severe of a technical issue going on. But normally with how things go in HGC China, it should get resolved fairly quickly. I'm also going to check my communication channel here on whether we have any feedback from the production crew. No. So normally when something really drastic happens, they're immediately like, uh-oh, computer's down, we're going to reboot. So the fact that they haven't said anything makes me pretty optimistic.
Indeed. So we do see we are waiting for the game to resume, assuming, like you said, a technical error does not go too far.
You know, sometimes it's just players smashing keyboards or throwing mice at their opponents. You know, I heard that they'd like to do that in China.
Yes. To be clear, we don't know if they like to do that in China, but me and Kendrick came up with the idea of,
you know,
the Wang being like a British rock star just after just every time after a game just smashes his keyboard. There was another tournament of another game that I won't say the name of, where a player, the tournament had so many technical issues that I'm pretty sure this was planned by production, but a player just picked up the PC, walked out the booth, and just threw it onto the ground. Just post-game.
Okay.
It was great.
So
I'm sure that was planned by production, though.
Yeah, I think so too. Either way, guys, we don't have to worry about our players' health or the equipment's health because we're back in the game, and it is indeed one entire level, almost, not just half a level, that CE has been able to, you know, put themselves ahead of their opponents. We see a little bit of a different build here coming in from Alufo, not going for the Holy Shock, going for the Holy Fire. It's pretty cool to see. You know, helps in situations like these where he needs to defend against mercenaries. And also adds a little bit more damage on top of team fights.
Yeah, it's a very holy team, actually. We've got a Monk of the 1001 Gods. We've got an Angel of Justice, a Paladin of the Light. It's a very holy team. In fact, they're all very all-in teams. In fact, they're very holy diver.
Do we have Angelic Valet too to fit the theme? No, it is a cowboy, cowgirl.
It's always the same skin for Valor, but it's not the pink one.
Yeah, I was going to say.
A slight variation.
So
uniqueness.
The cool thing we see right now, guys, is the fact that both teams are basically avoiding each other and trying to get value elsewhere. However, I think it benefits CE a little bit more. Hold that thought. Actually, CE abandoned the push here and sent 2 warriors to defend the top lane. But normally I would have said that CE pushing in the bottom lane is a little bit better for them because the second temple phase, as you guys know, is going to, you know, spawn there. So naturally... Yeah.
But in the meantime, the One are still going. That's a double bruiser camp top lane. Still pushing in. And the CE, they have taken the bottom 4. And now they're trying to port, but Lucky is trying to prevent it. Towers are down. Fountain's going to be damaged here. Now they need to rotate down. Now they can leave Paradise here. There's enough minions left here that he should clear it without even losing the Fountain.
Scratch everything I said. This was definitely the better push now for the One because destroying a secondary tower line near to the keep is always worth it. It gives you so much momentum for later pushes. And also look at the XP. They came back in pretty decent fashion now, no longer a level behind. So in the end, in terms of XP, in terms of, you know, overall map progress, it was definitely a favorable outcome for the One. However, you know, the fact that they won't get this temple kind of equalizes it a little bit. It's really hard to say.
I will argue that it's still better potentially in the future for CE because they were able to clear out the fort, which means and this is the boss lane.
True.
This is good. Like, double bruise is cool, but the core actually clears them relatively quickly. They're not perfect for a push to core. And if it gets to the keep, though, they're going to get crazy value. And, of course, they're great for protecting catapults. But overall, I would give the boss more value than a single bruiser camp, because it's very unlikely they're going to get that double bruiser steal again.
Now we see a standard Alufo. He, I think, refuses to go for the Divine Shield in most of his games when he plays Uther. Instead goes for the Divine Storm. But, you know, in his defense, his Divine Storm has been on point in almost all the games, and especially against Illidan, Greymane, Rhaegar. There's a lot of melee targets that can actually get trapped by accident. So
I like this combo. Like you said, they've got the Divine Storm to try and counteract the Illidan and grab any of the melees in range. And it's like, okay, so now Valor's just like, well, what am I supposed to do now? And it's just like, don't worry, KTY's got you. Win just gets cleansed out there, out of the mosh pit. Mosh pit potentially too ambitious. Oh, yeah, we have Sanctification and Palm now to protect the Valor.
I was going to say, there's still a panic button available for CE. Not the Divine Shield, but the Divine Palm. I do not understand what that mosh pit was trying to accomplish. It was a one-man mosh pit against the enemy team's main tank. And I think the One had enough vision to also know that there were enough allies at Turiel's side to save him.
Apparently the pause was for a player to change mouse. So there we go.
Cool. That we shall allow.
Yes, and I know this is the case in Korea. I don't know if it's the case in China. But the way they do it, I don't believe the players actually have to bring their own equipment. I'm pretty sure there is just like one of every mouse and keyboard for like most brands just at the studio, and they just take, or like multiples of each one, and they just take what they want.
Or maybe they can just, you know, drop some feedback at the beginning of the phase and post their equipment, and then they're going to get it for them.
Potentially. Yeah. That would work out quite well.
As long as it doesn't take like
specialized mouse pads, as we can see for some players.
Yeah, definitely. The waifu mousepad, very important for Neptune. But as long as, you know, it doesn't reach real-life sports levels where players are changing shoes 3-4 times in one soccer match, it's just, you know, bonkers.
And we do see the One getting chased backwards. Still a pretty reasonable advantage for CE, just under half a level lead for them, which is good enough for the moment, because it means they will hit their next talent tier first.
Yeah, very cool to see. So CE continues to dominate the temple phases, resulting in them getting another pretty comfortable XP lead. 13 is now here. They could actually abandon the bottom temple and look for a fight in the top. This is oftentimes something that I think not enough teams are actually utilizing here on Sky Temple. That abandoning a temple when you just unlocked a talent advantage is sometimes better, because you can push the enemies back, secure the second temple, or you go for the boss. Totally fine. Don't have any issues with that play.
Yep, they're already taking shots. They're going to risk the push in the top lane. This is the idea. They basically need to take this boss and B.
Yep.
They're not, though, because now there's going to be a second double bruiser camp push for this keep. And this is exactly the situation that I said they need to avoid. So now this keep is under serious duress. It's very much, they need everyone back who has AoE. Even Uther B's back from a proxy position.
Yeah.
Who assists with this due to Holy Fire.
On the flip side, though, TheOne, they also need to teleport back, because look at the boss. It's already reaching the bottom keep, probably already destroying the tower line. And Tyrael is being a persistent warrior, chasing.
Stop the boss. Chase him all the way back to his base. KTY gives up. And right now it's just doing this. They should clear it.
Yeah. No, I think it's going to get the keep. Ah, the Tassel shields are good, though.
That's enough. There we go. Finally, everyone reacts. And they do clear it up. But look at how much damage that did compared to the bruises. The quicker reactions from CE and the better control over who is clearing and who is chasing to prevent the ports works out far better. And that is the kind of game sense that has made them a Phase 1 champion and a Phase 2 second placer.
Now the Eldrain's Might here scouting the bush. And already this is so problematic for TheOne, right? Because the moment another temple spawns either in the middle or in the top, or maybe even both, they can't really fully commit to it. Because if they do, well, there might be a cheeky Dahaka or a sneaky Tyrael, excuse me, and just threaten the bottom keep. So this already puts so much pressure map-wise on TheOne's future temple phases that it's going to be really hard for them to really make a call.
Now with CCE putting a little bit of focus onto this bot lane. They want to keep it safe because they want this lane to be dominant. They want this, the one to be avoiding it as much as possible so that they can keep control and potentially keep control over the boss area. Wind is just ducking and diving right now, just avoiding all of the CC and poke.
Look at Dahaka though.
TheOne. But in the meantime, Dahaka is pushing top. This is very much a delay tactic and a clear tactic by CE. They're not here to team fight, which is why this is kind of bad.
They can't catch him.
He tries to go in here. They're looking for it. KTY having to retreat. This fort will go down now thanks to this aggressive move, unless Dahaka can come and join. CE, they're trying to hold.
Double mosh.
No interrupt. Zack, though,
oh!
to the other side of the mosh to save his team. Divine Storm wrecks the Rhaegar, and Illidan's trying to do stuff to Zuyu, but Zuyu don't care. He's got his team with him. He turns it round. Wind finally dies, but he's taking Lucky with him as Lucky gets exploded. We're seeing Uther trying to finish him off the Holy Radius, but it is the Q from Valor that finishes it off.
Go for the keep. Like, there's no excuse not to go for the keep. You still have 4 people available?
The spawn time is low. There's no minions. They could have killed it. I agree.
Yeah, but I think so too.
Yeah, they would rather get the temple and play it safe.
Right. Okay. So that was a wonderful team fight, though. It's like, you know, TheOne, they were trying to catch a group of eels, you know, but they're so slippery they can't really hold them, and they don't have a fishing rod. So yeah, so many dashes and blings, and it was just marvelous to see how long CE was to survive 4 versus 5, only to capitalize heavily on Dahaka's arrival with that beautiful isolation on the Illidonger, and he was no longer able to assist his teammates at all in that team fight.
And the Tyrael teleport... Oh, hang on. No, they're posturing again. The Tyrael teleporting from one side of the mosh pit to the other to get in range of his allies for the sanctification, that is gorgeous. And now we see Dahaka pushing up bot lane again, prepping it for a pressure onto the bottom keep. And even if not, he's denying vision down there due to the minion wave being pushed up, so that his team can try and make an attempt for that keep later in the game if they need to. And of course, it also preps him for the boss.
Yeah, this is such a problem right now. You can really see the moment TheOne postures up in the top lane or in the middle, there is already the rotation coming in. Look at the minimap. CE, they realize, hey, you know what? We see a lot of heroes from TheOne in the top lane, so let us just get something done here. Maybe at least a Dahaka could go.
That's 3 for 3.
Hey, am I having a deja vu here, Tetcher? What is going on?
3 for 3 on taking this frickin' mercenary camp that CE are trying to defend, but once again, they move back into the passive defense position. They have Sank, Dahaka's gaining value, they have no issue defending this. All they have to do is to make sure the keep doesn't die. That's all they are doing right now. Dahaka hasn't even ported back to make sure that this doesn't happen. The keep is actually going to die. That's actually, that's a lot more damage than they expected, probably.
Well, at some point it had to work. No way.
Okay, well, let's see how well this works. Karasi moving forward, trying to take down the Greymane, who is the biggest target to the amount of damage. Illidan is being completely ignored as the core goes down. Tassadar completely surviving. Greymane down.
Moshpit is good.
Moshpit buying time for Hugo as he takes it down. In goes Tassadar. Dimensional shift, keeping himself alive for the moment, but that means Illidan's not getting a shield as Lucky is trapping the core. Hugo is very high. Lucky will go down. It's down. Minions are enough, and the core attempt is the first game going over to the one.
Hugo, where did you go? And I can tell you where he went. He went to the core, balls to the walls, no respect. Look at Wind here. He can't believe what just happened. They were like, yep, we got that Archon. Yep, we got the Greymane. Yup, we got that Rhaegar, and most importantly, we got Hugo on the Illidan. And he was just out dancing. He was dancing the core of tangos here. Beautifully done, and see, they just couldn't keep up. It was like chasing, you know, the Roadrunner. No chance.
Wow, I
have never seen anything like it.
That was an amazing core attempt. That should not have worked. Like, yeah, you have all the core all-in heroes. Absolutely, well done on that.
Yeah.
But they played that so well. They kept split. Taz used the full duration of the Archon. Illidan was ignored. They prioritized correctly. They took down Greymane first. Then it all went downhill. They weren't able to get to Illidan. Illidan is the second biggest target. The Mosh denied 2 people, bought them time. The One managed that core attempt brilliantly. Well done.